So far this year, more than 44,000 fires have burned nearly 4 million acres across the United States, according to the National Interagency Fire Center. But there have been a handful of megafires. According to the U.S. Forest Service, these are defined as fires that exceed 10,000 hectares or more than 24,000 acres. They can arise from a singular or multiple ignition events. A new study found that these types of fires are more likely to occur on industrial, private land rather than in publicly owned forests. Jacob Levine joins us now. He is the lead author of that study and a postdoctoral researcher at the Wilkes Center for Climate Science and Policy at the University of Utah. So if you could just explain to our viewers, why this appears to be happening, these megafires, and why they're more likely to occur on private land versus public areas.
Yeah, so what we found is that the reason that severe fires are more common or more likely to occur on private industrial forests is that these forests tend to be very dense, very homogeneous, and to have a lot of what we call ladder fuels, which are small trees and branches which basically provide a ladder for fire to climb from the forest floor into the canopy. And these are conditions that fires really love. You can think about stacking a bunch of matches together in an even grid. When you light one side of that on fire, it's going to allow the fire to really blow up as it moves along, to gain a ton of momentum.
Has your conclusion proven true so far this year in looking at the types of fires that have occurred?
Yeah, so it's hard to say because we haven't yet analyzed the fires that are occurring this year, but our research really suggests that there's something very fundamental about the types of plantations that are established on private timberland that cause these types of extreme fire behaviors. And so it's hard to imagine that changing all of a sudden this year.
What about this word stem density and the impact that that has on causing these types of fires that we're seeing in the video and that you're speaking of?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people are really worried that with climate change, these types of fires are becoming inevitable, that there's nothing that we can do to really mitigate the risk of these severe fires, no way to prevent them from happening. What our study shows is that that's not true. The most important driver of fire severity in our study was the number of trees per acre. And in fact, that became more important under the extreme weather conditions that we're expecting to become more frequent with climate change. And so what that tells us is that strategies that reduce the density of trees, things like thinning and prescribed fire, are really critical tools that can be very effective even in the face of extreme weather for reducing the risks of these megafires.
Sounds like you have to be very intentional about it too, precise.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to really go in with an intention to remove the right kinds of trees, a mixture of large and small ones, to create more structural heterogeneity and breaks that will slow down the momentum of the fire as it burns.
Sounds very complicated as well. I'm so glad we had you here. Jacob Levine, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.